All right, so let's try round two. So before we get into stuff about the shoe, real quick, show you guys the box. We'll talk about the box and why it's this way and the colorway and what, you know, the storytelling part behind that is in a little bit. But for now, I really want to touch base mainly on the issues I have with the Sunshine 2 from the prior video and some of the information I found out since then. One of the guys over at Adidas actually reached out to me and was willing to give me some information about the production nature of the Sunshine 2s and why some of the things are the way they are in comparison to the Sunshine 1s. I can't, you know, release this person's name, but I do really appreciate you reaching out to me, and the information is extremely helpful, and it helps me to understand a lot of what's going on with the shoe. So let's talk about something that I didn't like about the shoe that I think has a great reason as to why it is the way it is. The shoe being a low top. I'm not a big fan of low tops, but that doesn't matter because in the situation with this shoe, D Rose himself said that he wanted the shoe to be a low top because he wanted more mobility and flexibility around the ankle area, because as he's gotten older and his game has matured, he doesn't like the mids anymore. He's not as big of a fan of it. So because of that, they've gone with this more low top construction and design. Apparently even back when he did the Sunshine 1s, which were not super low, but they were like more like a mid, he wanted it even lower, which is why he had this, you know, happen with these, and he wanted these to be even lower. So that's just kind of crazy to, you know, think about in comparison to everything with that. Again, I'm not a huge fan of low tops. That doesn't change anything about how I feel about the shoe being a low top, because I'm not a fan of low tops. However, it is cool that, you know, D Rose got what he wanted for this shoe in terms of design nature wise, and he's getting something more that he wants in regards to the shoe. I personally, I'm not really sure that I'm going to dig this shoe mainly because of that, but in terms of my own play style and performance, but we'll find out, you know, because I do hope now that, since I believe this will be the right size, stay tuned because I will try these on later in the video to find out. I think I may end up, you know, maybe I'll end up liking them, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll stick with the Sunshine 1s or the Rose 4 Resto Mods, you know, or something else. Now, let's talk about the tooling of the shoe, right? So this shoe right here still has the bounce midsole and the same traction outsole. And the big thing I talked about that was different with this shoe compared to the Sunshine 1s is the heel cup, and then this is like an engineered mesh upper. Well, the reasoning for that is due to COVID. Over in the factories and stuff at the time when they were trying to get, you know, these samples made of the shoe so it could go through the regular testing process and performance testing process to see, you know, what the shoe was going to be like, they weren't able to do that because COVID shut some of the factories down. And along with that being the case, they were having to do virtual sampling with the shoe, meaning that you basically get like a digital file where you can see the shoe. But the thing is, like, the virtual samples that the factory sends you usually don't look anything like how the actual shoe looks. And so with that being the case, it's hard to confirm a product and confirm what it looks like. So they weren't able to test out new tooling for the midsole and outsole due to the fact that, well, they couldn't actually get something made. So what they decided to do was to stick with the midsole and outsole setup that you have already on the Sunshine 1s because, well, the testing of it went fine already, and they say no, they know it works. And then personally, from, you know, my standpoint, as much as I would have wished to see a better, or not even better, a different, you know, midsole tooling, it's pretty cool to see that that's how they kind of went about things, and it's understandable. And I mean, could they have really gone wrong with this? This midsole is very comfortable. The bounce foam in this is nice. And the outsole, again, I really like this outsole and dig this outsole because it is the Rose 4 outsole. I liked it on the Sunshine 1s. So I think that was a good and smart move. In terms of materials looking and feeling cheap, well, that's because, I mean, again, it is meant to be cheap. The price point for this shoe, I'm going to assume this is not fact. I'm going to assume that when this shoe comes to the States, finally in retails, it's going to retail for $100. That's my assumption because the Sunshine 1s retail for $100, and the way these shoes are set up, I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing. There were some reasons why the Sunshine 1 seemed to have a little bit better materials and tooling on it compared to these, but I can't really get into that, and maybe someday I'll be able to tell you guys that story. But as of right now, I don't want to say anything about it because, you know, I appreciate the information I was given, but I don't want to, you know, put anything out there that you know, shouldn't be out there yet. So again, that being said, that makes a lot of sense as to why this shoe is the way it is. My frustration turns into understanding, you know, once I hear, you know, about the difficulties with production and things like that, because all that makes a lot of sense. And in terms of, you know, from us as a fans, from the outside looking in, being upset over how the line has seemed to be treated over the years, the one thing I will say is that usually materials and design wasn't my issue. My main issue has always been the distribution and the releases of the shoes, and honestly kind of like the advertising and the marketing of the shoes. Like, you don't really know when they're going to drop something. We have 2 pairs of D Rose shoes right now on the website. Sorry, we have 4 pairs of D Rose shoes on the website right now. 2 being Sunshine ones that were Christmas colorways that should have came out in Christmas last year, and a 1.5 colorway that is an awesome resto mod colorway, and a 1.5 low top resto mod of a colorway and model that never came stateside. So that's super dope to see. But you know, it's hard to budget for them things, you know, if you don't know they coming, right? So like, you're making other purchases and then the shoe dropping and you're like, damn, I'm gonna buy you as soon as I get paid though. So those are 2 shoes, by the way, that you'll have reviews coming for soon. But again, just to voice some other frustration real quick, the other thing that I am kind of bothered with when it comes to the release window is that like the Christmas colorway, it's like the pink ones with the gingerbread man on it. That shoe's been popping up at outlets while it's also on the website at full price and selling at outlets for like $50, $40. I know someone that got a pair for $35 because they had some big blowout sale at the outlet. It's a little frustrating, but again, I'm not certain who that really goes on to and with. And so again, that's just one of those things where sometimes, you know, you don't hate the player, hate the game, I guess. But I don't know. Let's talk about the shoe though in terms of tech features and model and stuff like that. Now that I got all that other stuff out the way. Again, we already talked about the bounce midsole, engineered mesh upper, but this colorway is meant to look, in my opinion, just like the Rose 4.5's colorway that was the home colorway. It's the same type of silver metallic look with white accents and red. Now I know there's a different storytelling to this shoe that's different than what this is, and that thankfully was provided to me by ID4 Shoes on their Instagram post, which reads, "This nickname is Chinese characters that I cannot read," which we didn't know how Adidas is going to give it its English nickname, but we do know where it comes from. Those Chinese characters is a poetry that came from an ancient poet, Du Fu. The concept of this idea is that you want to break up a gang, you need to take down their boss first. And the concept is put on the insoles via Chinese characters as well, one on the left side and one on the right side. It's cool because Adidas does do a lot of different colorways that link back to ancient China. What I find interesting is that they've been doing this since the Rose 2.5s. If you go back and look at the first shoe that they did with that was the D Rose 2.5 Lei Fangs, and that's something that they've continued, you know, to do throughout, you know, his time with the brand. There's the D Rose 10 Generals, which I'll put a picture here. I haven't done a review of these. I haven't gotten a pair yet. There's only so many shoes and so many things I can buy in a year, but that colorway is super dope, and I dig that because again, I like the way and stuff ties back in. And this shoe is again meant to tie into that storytelling nature of stuff. What I think is cool is, you know, I can't fully appreciate all of the Chinese characters on here because again, I don't know the language. But what's cool is when you look at the heel tab here on the back, you do see these different you know, Chinese characters. And some of this also too may not even be Chinese characters in some spots, but just be different like logos and things like that. I'd be curious if anyone were to reach out to me and let me know more stuff about that. I do like here on the tongue as well, where this looks like, you know, looks like 2 hands like holding each other, making like some sort of sign. And I can't fully tell what that is, but it does look pretty cool as well too. Now I know some people ask, do I think that the, you know, that storytelling ties directly back into Derek somehow? I'm not entirely certain. The only thing I can think of is that, you know, growing up in Inglewood, there were different gangs and different, you know, things that could distract Derek from, you know, where he was supposed to go in life. But he has brothers to kind of look out for him, his mom, and other people within his community. And maybe that ties into the shoe, maybe it doesn't. I'm not entirely certain. But now for the moment of truth, let's look at sizing on this shoe, right? Alright, so I will say the Chinese on with my speed wraps, these do fit now. It does feel like my regular comfortable fit that I like for my basketball shoes. What I will say is that, like, they are a low top. It's been a long time since I played in anything close to a low top. And so when you play in a low top, I know sometimes the snugger the fit the better because you really need to hold and grip your foot because you don't have a collar to kind of cinch it up and around. But what, you know, the thing is that this tongue is connected to like an inner sleeve that starts about around your midfoot area that keeps your foot contained in here. And I will say that when I tried these on initially back in the previous review in my regular size 10, putting them on and having that sleeve there, I understand it's meant to keep your foot locked in, but dang, was that a tight fit. And I really think still that, like, I go up half a size on these. I will give you my full confirmation once I hoop in these. And that is something that I do plan to do, which leads me into where are those performance reviews that people have been wanting to see. So let me tell you guys something real quick. These shoes I will do a performance review on, barring everything going good with a doctor's appointment I have coming up here soon. I have an MRI set up this with my ankle because I still have some slight discomfort, and we're trying to make sure and see that there's nothing like structurally wrong there, or with ligaments or anything of that nature. And if that's all good, I'm in the clear, I'm going back to hooping, man. I'm gonna slowly ramp myself back into it, but I'm gonna go back to hooping so I can give you guys a review, you know, my thoughts over this shoe. That being said, the Sunshine 1s, the D-Rose 11s, no, psych, that's a lie. The Sunshine 1s, the D-Rose 1.5 Resto Mods, and the D-Rose 4 Resto Mods all have performance reviews that are filmed and they just need to be edited. Those reviews will be coming out in the following week, but since I'm, you know, got these in, I want to get this review out for you guys first, and then we'll go back to the old stuff because, you know, you guys care more to hear more about this shoe and this model so you can be prepared for when it does drop stateside or for when another drop happens online, whether it's like eBay. There is a colorway out right now that's on eBay that's a black and red colorway. I'm going to call it the Brenda colorway, but there's a different name for it this go around. And there's also an orange colorway out too, which is the you know, it's like the brother or sister shoe colorway wise to the blue ones that I got. I forgot the name of that one currently, but all that being said, this shoe will have a performance review for me hopefully within the next month or so. I don't like to just, you know, wear them a couple times and give you a review. I want to be able to wear them enough times to be able to really give my thoughts on them, and definitely was able to do that with the 1.5s, the 4s, and the Sunshines while I was, you know, hooping earlier in the year before the ankle pain had started to get worse and worse when I was recovering. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Sunshine 2s in this new colorway. And, you know, I'm glad to be able to give you guys some more in-depth information about the shoe and about this model so that you guys have a better fullness understanding of it. And honestly, for me too, it makes me not as disappointed in this shoe. You know, something I didn't really touch on in the last review is that, like, looks-wise, I think the shoe looks pretty cool. I like that blue colorway. It's a nice colorway. I would definitely wear it casually, and I probably will wear it casually. But I'm not sure I would ever hoop in it because of how tight they are. And also, too, I'm not sure I'm gonna like a low top. I'm not sure, like, you know, if it's gonna become my new main hooping shoe, or if I'm gonna hoop in this long enough to be able to give you a performance review and then go back to the Rose, because when I was playing back again, the Rose, my favorite, spoiler alert, my favorite of the shoes I had done performance reviews on. But you know what? Maybe I blurred that out. Maybe I want to let you guys know that, so you have to watch the reviews to find out. But yeah, that being said, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for always watching my videos, subscribing, and leaving your comments and sharing the videos. I really appreciate that stuff. And, you know, to all the people over at Adidas that, you know, really enjoy my content, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the love and support you guys give. And yeah, I can't wait to, you know, do some more reviews and let you guys know what I'm thinking of the shoes. I also, too, those 1.5 colorway that came out of the high and the lows, that's a Chance song. I'll get you guys a review of that sometime soon. I just got to be able to get them and purchase them. I got like 2 or 3 colorways of the Sunshine 1s and still need reviews. I got a couple colorways of the D-Rose 11s that need reviews. Heck, I'm not promising it, but I might bring back the D-Rose sneaker challenge again this year just because I have an abundance of shoes to get through. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, who knows. Also, too, I'm going to be torturing you guys with more Star Wars content, more anime content, specifically some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff coming up, so deal with it. I thank you guys for watching this video. Until next time, peace. I'll see you around later. Bye.